Thank the gentleman from Virginia. The chair would now recognize the gentleman from Tennessee, Dr. DesJarlais.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do thank the panel for being here today. And I would like to say, Mr. Fink, we've had several hearings, as you know, on the Hill regarding issues surrounding the IRS. And when you started your testimony, the one thing you did that I appreciated was that you sincerely apologized. You showed remorse, and I think you're genuinely embarrassed. Unlike your predecessor, Commissioner Schulman, who when asked whether he was sorry or apologized, I think that we got at best a backhanded apology that he was sorry that it happened under his watch, which I interpret that he's maybe embarrassed because it might make him look bad. So I do appreciate the fact that you do seem to care, and I think a lot of people do as well. But let's look at what the American people and the taxpayers got for their $4.3 million at this conference in Anaheim. Can you tell me what the main purpose that your division was there for at this conference?
Yes, sir. And I, if you don't mind, I do truly regret this. I really do. The main reason there was because we'd had a significant turnover in the leadership in the organization in small business. Also, at this time, we were experiencing an entire new customer base in small business. Folks that had not had tax problems before, for whatever reason, were coming in to interact with the service. They were having difficulty remaining in compliance. Along with that, the third primary item is that, as the Inspector General mentioned, is that we had an increase in security concerns out of the incident that occurred in Austin, Texas.
Because I have limited time, you have a term for the purpose of this, and that's continuing professional education. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Do you believe that professional continuing education occurred at this $4.3 million conference?
Not, I apologize, but not in the videos. The dance videos were started, but there were learning lessons there, sir.
Now you have methods of tracking this. You have 2,700 people to keep track of. You said they're there for a 3-day period, 8 hours a day. How did you keep track of these 2,700 attendees? What did they do to get credit for these CPEs?
They did not get CPE credit, sir. Okay. Because we were not keeping individual track of their attendance at different parts of the event, so they did not get CPE credits. All they got was on our internal system. They received what would be characterized as leadership.
How was their attendance determined? Was there videos? Was there head counts? Was there a sign-in sheet?
No, sir, there was not. Okay,
so we have all these people. There really was no accountability in terms of whether or not they actually gained any new knowledge on this particular trip. I mean, we don't know whether they crossed the street and went to Disneyland during this 8 hours.
We absolutely, I cannot sit here and say absolutely they did not, sir.
So, do you know of people who did go to Disneyland when they were supposed to be in this 3-day, 8-hour day?
No, I do not, sir.
Did anybody talk about it? Has anyone talked about going other places rather than being at this $4.3 million educational seminar?
Not during, no one has talked about going during the seminar, but some people did, yes, absolutely talk about going places in the evening, sir.
Mm-hmm. So we really couldn't account for the 2,700 people. So this conference was probably an abysmal failure when you look at the total number. We didn't have any way of tracking. We don't know if they were educated. So essentially, this was not a good conference. We got 224 more of these to look at. So we'll stop there. You know, when the American people don't listen to the IRS and they don't pay their taxes, they actually can go to jail, get extreme penalties. What do you tell the people that their retribution may be when their taxpayer money that they did send in is wasted in this fashion? Is there any way that they can recoup this kind of money?
Not that I'm aware of, sir, okay. Other than that apologizing sincerely.
Okay, so, I mean, people, if they don't pay their taxes, they can apologize sincerely, but they can still go to jail. Mr. George, if Mr. Schulman or Lois Lerner perjured themselves in a prior hearing here, should they go to jail?
It would depend upon the Department of Justice.
Okay, so if Mr. Shulman said he never had a discussion at the White House about the targeting, or Lois Lerner turns out that she knew more about these alleged 2 rogue agents that we now know may be 80, if they weren't truthful with us, should they go to jail like the American people go to jail if they don't comply with the IRS?
They should be subjected to the criminal penalties associated with perjury.
Do you agree, Mr. Fink?
I would say that, as the Inspector General said, it's, of course, up to the Department of Justice.
Well, I know people get frustrated. We have these hearings and we never seem to get accountability, but it sounds like we're getting somewhere, and I thank you all for your time and attention. I yield back.
I thank the gentleman from Tennessee. The chair will now recognize